The Hague, a UN tribunal on Wednesday convicted ex-Bosnian Serb military commander Ratko Mladic of genocide and crimes against humanity for massacres of Bosnian Muslims and ethnic cleansing campaigns to forge a greater Serbia, and jailed him for life. Mladic, 74, was hustled out of the court minutes before the verdict for bellowing "This is all lies, you are all liars," after returning from what his son described as a blood pressure test which delayed the reading out of the judgment. The UN Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia, ICTY, found Mladic guilty of 10 of 11 charges, including the slaughter of 8,000 Muslim men and boys at Srebrenica and the 43-month siege of the Bosnian capital Sarajevo, in which more than 10,000 civilians were killed by shelling, mortar and sniper fire. The killings in Srebrenica of men and boys after they were separated from women and taken away in buses or marched off to be shot amounted to Europe's worst atrocity since World War II. The crimes committed rank among the most heinous known to humankind, and include genocide and extermination as a crime against humanity, presiding Judge Alphonse Ori said in reading out a summary of the judgment. Many of these men and boys were cursed, insulted, threatened, forced to sing Serb songs and beaten while awaiting their execution, he said. Mladic had pleaded not guilty to all charges. His legal team said he would appeal against the verdict. Called the Butcher of Bosnia by survivors of his actions, Mladic was the most notorious of 163 ICTY Indi Cortes together with Radovan Karadzic, the former Bosnian Serb nationalist leader and political mastermind of ethnic cleansing, and their patron, then Serbian President Slobodan Milosevic. The tribunal found Mladic significantly contributed to genocide committed in Srebrenica with the goal of destroying its Muslim population, personally directed the bombardment of Sarajevo, and was part of a joint criminal enterprise aimed at purging Bosnian Muslims and Catholic Croats from Bosnia. Greater Serbia prosecutors said the ultimate agenda of Mladic, Karadzic and Milosevic was what came to be known worldwide as ethnic cleansing, to carve out an orthodox Greater Serbia in the ashes of multinational federal Yugoslavia. ICTY Chief Prosecutor Serge Brammertz called the verdict a milestone in holding Mladic accountable not just for massacres but the detention of tens of thousands of non-Serbs in camps where many were beaten and raped, and the forced displacement of over 1 million to remake Bosnia's demographic map. He said Mladic was also convicted of using forces under his command to seize hundreds of UN peacekeepers as human shields to deter NATO from launching air strikes on his forces. NATO intervention eventually stopped the war. The Mladic case is the last major decision by the ICTY, which plans to close its doors soon after sentencing 83 Balkan war criminals since opening in 1993. In Geneva, UN Human Rights Chief Zaid Rad al-Hussein called Mladic the epitome of evil and said his conviction after 16 years as an indicted fugitive and 5 years of trial was a momentous victory for justice. Today's verdict is a warning to the perpetrators of such crimes that they will not escape justice, no matter how powerful they may be nor how long it may take, Zaid said in a statement.